hear it on this drive time. Start the car, hit play. We're your ticket every day. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. One road, one voice. Long Island makes some noise. Welcome to the I-495 Sports Podcast. From the shore to the skyline. If it happens on the island, you'll hear it on this drive time. Start the car, hit play. We're your ticket every day. Oh yeah. One road, one voice, Long Island.
Hey, welcome to an emergency I-495 sports podcast. As the news just came down, unless you're living on Mars, you know it. My mic is a little jacked up. There we go, usual. Kyle Tucker. Let's go right to where we're gonna go here. Let's get this up. There we go. All right, so hey, look at that. All right, Kyle Tucker signs with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I did not think that he was going to go that route. Of course, none of us were privy to the Dodgers blowing everybody out of the water. When I say everybody, I mean the New York Mets, on a 4-year deal for $60 million a season. From what I've seen, I haven't seen the breakdown of the contract yet. I think Jeff Passan had it first, probably. You know, these guys always love to give each other the kudos. Let me see. Is there anything? The stunning 4-year, 204. This is Bob Nightingale. The stunning 4-year, $240 million contract for Kyle Tucker includes a $64 million signing bonus and only $30 million in deferrals, as per Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan always gets stuff first. Wow. Well, I can't really say that I'm shocked. No, I can't say that I'm shocked. I was sure he was going to the Mets. The Mets offered him 4 years, $50 million a year. But thinking about Kyle Tucker's thought process, if you put yourself in his shoes, you can pretty much see where he was coming from here. All right, so the contracts got opt-outs after the second and third year. So he puts himself on the juggernaut LA Dodgers, gives himself 2 shots to win a championship. Obviously, they're going to be heavily favored to win a championship in the first 2 years. And then he can get out and go back into the free agent market. I believe he'll be 31. Yes, he'll be 31 going into his 31-year-old year. When he becomes a free agent again, if he opts out. And then, look, if he doesn't like LA, he's made $120 million in 2 years. He can then go wherever he wants, go for a longer contract. Maybe he gets a 5, 6, 7-year deal. Wow. I want to put something to bed first, though. I do not put this on David Stearns or the New York Mets, especially Steve Cohen. They obviously showed that they were willing to pay the money, but Kyle Tucker used the Mets to up the offer from the Dodgers. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Whether that was his thought process all along, there are some questions that he didn't want to come to a big city. Hello, LA. But this is a thing now. The Dodgers have gone to a place where it's more than about money. It's hard when you've now got to fight the LA weather, which is 80 degrees and sunny every day, and you're playing in LA, versus, it's snowing here in April for baseball games. It can't be a tax thing. California taxes are just as bad as New York taxes. That's where places like Florida and Texas come into play, and possibly if they get a team in Nashville with Tennessee. But that obviously wasn't a problem. We're talking about so much money here that the taxes really aren't a thing. Quality of life, perhaps. Maybe he thought it'd be better to live in LA for the next couple of years, at least during the season. Obviously, he's not going to live in LA all year. But this is really a real big shot to the New York market, let alone the Mets and to some part, the Yankees with the Cody Bellinger thing. LA has now completely taken the Japanese market from everybody. Yes, Imai signed with Houston, but still was not a New York team, which I think, again, was kind of shocking. Nobody thought he was going to Houston. So the market is all West Coast. So you don't see the Padres or the Angels taking advantage of it yet because the Dodgers are spending like drunken sailors. And they obviously can. Now, Steve Cohen has more money than the LA Dodgers themselves, but the revenue stream that the Dodgers have now coming from Japan, and because they're such a juggernaut, they're not stopping. They're playing by the rules. And I was listening to WFN on the way home. I knew I had to do a quick podcast about this. And people were calling in, oh, I'm tired of Stevie Cohen. He sold us a bill of goods and blah, blah, blah. Look, the LA Dodgers aren't breaking any rules. Are they ruining the game? Yes. We'll get to that in a second. But Stevie Cohen offered Kyle Tucker an amazing contract. $50 million a season for a guy who last year hit .266 with Chicago Cubs, 22 homers, 73 RBIs, an OPS of 841. Brandon Nimmo had a better season last year than Kyle Tucker did. Is Brandon Nimmo worth $50 million a year? No. Pete Alonso had a much better season than Kyle Tucker. Is he worth $50 million? No. So David Stearns, while I understand his plan that he's trying to do here, he doesn't want to give out long-term contracts. He wants to play the kids. He wants controllable players, and he wants short-term deals. That's all fine. I don't think going into the offseason, my opinion, that Kyle Tucker was somebody that the Mets were going to go all in for. I think he kind of fell into their lap a little bit, and they said, hey, we've got a chance. Let's try to get this guy. It's going to appease some of the fan base who are so upset with me because I got rid of everybody. And I don't see anybody else outside of Toronto going to offer what we can offer as far as average annual value per season. And they did. $50 million a season. How could you be upset with that? Are the Yankees offering him $50 million? No. I mean, Aaron Judge is making what? What is he making? 40, 42, 40, something like that? So I don't know what the fallout from this is going to be overall going into the end of the season when we're probably going to strike because the CBA is up. But think about this for a second. You're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. You're an Arizona Diamondbacks fan. You're a Seattle Mariners fan. You're a Detroit Tigers fan. You're a Florida Marlins fan. You're a Tampa Bay Rays fan. Any one of these teams. You're a Kansas City Royals fan. You're a St. Louis Cardinals fan. How are you going to compete at even an even level with what the Dodgers are doing? Take the Yankees and Mets out of the equation right now. What the Dodgers have done has completely and utterly gotten rid of the possibility of any smaller market team to compete for a top player in the game. It's done. Now, as a Yankee fan, and I hear this one a lot, oh, this is the Yankees. If this was George was alive, if the Yankees were operating like they used to, they'd be outbidding. No, they wouldn't. Let me tell you what advantage the Yankees had. Let's go in the 80s, 70s, 80s for free agency. The Yankees had big television deals, and they had a revenue stream that was greater than most all teams in baseball outside of a few. That was their advantage. But when the Yankees were able to buy free agents from other clubs, it wasn't at a price that was so astronomical that the other clubs could not literally compete. That's the difference. Once the whole, collective bargaining agreement fixed this tax revenue sharing streams and all this stuff, when the Yankees lost that advantage, Now they fell back to the pack with everybody else. And they have suffered because of it, because now they've had to develop players and they don't have that ability to go and completely obliteratingly buy somebody from another team where that team can't re-sign that player. And they would do that for a lot of young people. The young players that played on teams that they knew they weren't going to be able to re-sign. The Yankees had that advantage. Now that advantage is completely on the Dodgers because they are putting out mind-bending numbers. I'm talking about they are paying Kyle Tucker more in one season than some teams' entire payrolls. Let's take a gander here. Let's just look. What is, let's say, 2026 Pittsburgh Pirates payroll? If I spell that correctly, which I'm probably not going to. Let's see. Let me see what they have back here. Oh, not players, payroll. I'm curious. Okay, here we go. The Pittsburgh Pirates 2026 payroll is projected to be around 96 to 102 million. Now consider they did spend some money this offseason, which is unusual for them. So, all right. So he's not making more than the Pirates, but he's making more than 3/4 of the Pirates. So if Kyle Tucker was playing on the Pittsburgh Pirates, he'd be probably in right field. There'd be no center fielder, left fielder, third base, shortstop, second base, first base. There'd be a pitcher and a catcher. How is that in any way, shape, or form good for the game of baseball? As a Yankee fan, I was completely shocked that he didn't take the deal with the Mets, but I understand the deal he got with the Dodgers. Again, no rules broken. For that money, and living in LA, I would have took it too. I don't blame him. I did tweet this afternoon that I thought the Mets would get him, but I thought the Mets were going to have to include an opt-out. Opt-outs are all the rage right now. Doesn't lock you in long term. Again, if he doesn't like where he's living, doesn't like his teammates, his catcher's an asshole, he can get up and go somewhere else. Understand that. And supposedly last I heard that the Mets offer at $200 had no opt-outs. Was that the straw that broke the Tucker's back? Don't know. Only he knows. And his agent. But going in now to the 2026 season, what is the expectation for anybody else? The Dodgers will be so overly favored to win the title, which means they probably won't. Rarely does the team predicted to win a title preseason win it. Look, they can have injuries like anybody else. They can get knocked out in the playoffs and in a short series. It can happen. That's baseball. What this does for the Yankees is not good for the Cody Bellinger fans. This is probably going to uptick what he's going to get to some extent. The Yankees might have to go to a 6th year if they want to bring him back. The AAV might get ticked up a bit. And now the Mets are going to join the fray. Now, are they going to offer that much more than the Yankees offered? I don't think so. I don't think the Mets look at Cody Bellinger as somebody that they want to have long-term. If they didn't want Kyle Tucker long-term, why would they want Cody Bellinger long-term? So think of it that way. But I feel bad for the Mets fans. I do. This offseason has been a whirlwind of emotions. I can't believe that David Stearns has broken it down to the point of, and I'm serious when I say this, I think the guy really should have some kind of personal security. I think there are some deranged people out there that will get so upset by what has transpired in Queens. Forget about them not buying season tickets. I think the guy's legitimate safety could be at risk. Probably the most hated baseball executive ever right now. I think Artie Moreno in Cleveland was loved more than David Stearns is right now for the NFL fans. So this is going to be interesting. I think now you're going to see the Bellinger signing. I think by the time the weekend is over, I think he's going to sign. I think the pressure is going to be there now. Some more teams are going to jump in. Toronto, the Mets, and we'll see where he goes. And we'll do another reaction podcast when that comes back. But for the Met fans out there, I feel for you. I've never seen anything like this before. Right now, if the Mets played today and the ball hit to left field, there's nobody there to catch it. So, wow. Stunning news. Stunning news. Well, just a quick one to jump in and give my 2 cents, which, if I had to give 2 cents to Kyle Tucker, is what, like 2 quadrillion cents? This money's out of hand. It's out of hand. And don't give me that bullshit. Oh, it ain't your money. What do you care? The reason why I don't buy baseball tickets. The reason why I haven't bought, Jesus, let me think. The last time I actually bought tickets to a game. What, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I think I bought upper deck tickets only because some friends were going. But as far as buying tickets for me, my son, my wife to go to a game, might have been in the old Yankee Stadium. 2008, 2007. It's been that long. And I have no desire to. Well, am I going to go, drop $500 and $300 on food? That's what this whole thing has become. It's a joke. It's a tremendous joke. Enjoy watching it at home, folks, especially the Met fans who are now literally lighting their season tickets on fire and calling for refunds after this. I feel for you. So, all right, we'll see you on the next quick I-495 podcast. Thank you for tuning in. And Kyle Tucker. Ouch. All right. Let's see. Now I got to click that off, this off, this off, this off, this off. All right. See you guys later. Listen to the music. It's good.
Make some noise. Hit the ramp, tune us in. From the sound to the city line. Every team, every town, all gas down the main spine. Welcome to the I-495 Sports Podcast, taking sports across Long Island. From the bleachers to the broadcast, we break it down, we ride.